Elise Jordan, Eugene Robinson. Most of all, thanks to you for watching another wild day. That does it for our hour. I'll be back at 9 o'clock tonight, filling in for my friend Rachel Maddow. MTP Daily with Chuck Todd starts now.
Welcome to Thursday. It's Meet the Press Daily. Good evening. I'm Chuck Todd here in Washington. I don't say this lightly, but let's be frank, a national nightmare is upon us. The basic rules of our democracy are under attack from the president. We begin tonight with a series of admissions by the president that all but assures his impeachment in the House of Representatives. It's a moment of truth for Republicans, and they've been largely silent on what we've seen from the president. Today, he publicly called on 2 foreign governments to interfere in the presidential election by investigating his chief 2020 political rival.
What exactly did you hope Zelensky would do about the Bidens after your phone call? Exactly.
Well, I would think that if they were honest about it, they'd start a major investigation into the Bidens. It's a very simple answer. They should investigate the Bidens, because how does a company that's newly formed, and all these companies, if you look at, and by the way, likewise, China should start an investigation into the Bidens, because what happened in China is just about as bad as what happened with Ukraine. So I would say that President Zelensky, if it were me, I would recommend that they start an investigation into the Bidens, because nobody has any doubt that they weren't crooked. That was a crooked deal, 100%.
So what you just heard is a public admission of the allegations at the heart of the House's impeachment inquiry and at the heart of the whistleblower's complaint, that the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump, is using the power of his office to solicit foreign interference in the 2020 election, while doing it relying on a debunked conspiracy theory or two. By the way, this is not hearsay. This is not a leak. This is not a whistleblower complaint. It's not a memorandum of a phone conversation. You heard the president himself do it on the White House lawn. This moment should arguably be a national emergency. The founding fathers would have considered it a national emergency if the president publicly lobbied multiple foreign governments to interfere in the next election. And yet there has been virtually no condemnation from the president's party at all on this remark, which is remarkable considering the precedent it would set and the lasting damage it would do to our democracy. It's tough to say lightly, but this is the moment that we're at. Let's dig into this a little bit. Joining me now, 2 of my NBC News colleagues with the latest developments, Peter Alexander, our White House correspondent, Jeff Bennett on Capitol Hill. And Peter, I don't know if people understand the gravity of what the president did, but what was amazing is the president finally answered Jeff Mason's question yesterday that he refused to do, and he did so in such a public way. Is anybody inside that White House realize that the president essentially owned up to what he's being investigated for?
Well, let me put it this way, Chuck. When we had an opportunity to speak to a White House spokesperson, someone from the press